Hey, thanks for coming back to JLC Inspections Indoor Air Quality videos. If you have not seen the previous segments of Who's Truly Certified, ACAC, The Logical Choice, and Who's in Your Home, please go back to the beginning and watch those before you watch this one. I think you're going to find that be a lot more beneficial to you. So in the last three segments, we learned about the difference between hiring somebody that's internet-based or one-day seminar-based type person and those of the high qualifications through ACAC. Then we learned about how to pick the best ACAC trained individual for your particular needs. Now in this segment of Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, I'm going to be talking about the red flags when hiring an inspection company. Now, other inspection companies might call these, marketing strategies when they talk to you on the phone, but what I call it is they just want to get inside the door of your house. So, number one, their primary business is mold abatement. So if you call around to several companies and one company seems to have an inspection fee far less than everybody else, the reason might be is that their primary business is they're a mold abatement company, not a mold inspection company. And they're just trying to find a way to get in your house so they can do mold abatement. Now, some of these companies might be finding mold that maybe is not there at all. It's that old saying that if you were a chicken farmer, would you hire a fox to guard your hen house? So just think about that. So, number two, conflict of interest. If a company does more than one function on the same job. For instance, if a company is doing mold abatement and doing an inspection both, most consider that's a conflict of interest. If a company does inspections and also analyzes their own samples, that most would consider a conflict of interest. And in some cases might become a legal issue moving down the road. Number three, pay for business leads. Now, this is a very common practice in this field and in the trades in general, where someone will pay someone for a lead. I consider this a huge business and ethicals violation. In the download section of my website, you're going to find a written statement, my mission statement, that I do not pay anybody monetarily or otherwise for a business referral, and I do not take money for giving somebody a referral. So keep that in mind. Here's a hypothetical example on how something like this works. An environmental company goes around to larger plumbing companies and basically says, hey, if you find mold problems in a house while you're fixing a water leak in a house, if you give the customer our name and we get the job, we'll take care of you on the back end. That's a huge problem because the consumer is going to end up paying for this one way or another. Number four, samples are included in the cost of the inspection. Now this is one of my favorites. So you call around and you find a company that says, well, the inspection is $795, but it includes 5 to 6 samples. Well now, call me crazy, but how is somebody going to know that they're going to need to collect 5 or 6 samples before they can even show up at your door and do the inspection? Sounds to me kind of like somebody wants to make $795, otherwise you're not worth it. So what happens if they get through the inspection and they don't find any big problems? Do they still take the 5 to 6 samples just for the heck of it? Well, you're still stuck with that cost. So you need to be careful about that. More so than anything, do you really want to deal with somebody that has that kind of business tactics? Also, by the way, you may want to ask that same company, do they analyze their own samples? Number five, but you're not the certified person on your website. So love this one too, all right? You look on a website, you see that somebody is ACAC certified, but when the person shows up at the door, it's not the person on the website. So this is how this works. A person sits behind the desk and he sends out several different people to do the inspections, to do the testing. comes back, writes up the report, and the guy sitting behind the desk basically signs off on the inspection. Well, again, call me crazy, but wouldn't it be better to have the guy that's actually trained and certified in your home doing the inspection? Now, here's a way to keep this from happening. Tell the person on the phone when you make the appointment that you want the person that shows up at your door to have with them a copy of their ACAC certification. That'll stop that. And oh, by the way, you can always find my certifications and my insurance on the download section of my website. Number 6, but where's my report? So you hire a company, they come in, they do the inspection, they do their testing, and then you wait and you wait and you wait and you never get a report. So you call them and they go, well, if you want a report, it costs you extra. Oh, do you want a scope of work to get rid of your mold problem? Well, that costs extra too. Please make sure that you verify with the person talking to them on the phone, you know exactly what you get for your money, because that could be a reason why they seem to be a lot cheaper. Okay, we're at number 7. Why is one company so much cheaper than another? Well, one of these factors is, we've already talked about that, mold abatement companies doing inspections when they probably shouldn't be. And then in number 6, we also talked about what exactly are you getting for your inspection money. If they're not writing you a report or not writing you a scope of work, that's probably why they're cheaper. But one of the main reasons that I have found that a lot of companies are cheaper is they want to get in your door. And once they get in your front door, sometimes they do a very lousy inspection and then start scaring you into collecting samples that you may or may not need. There's an awful lot of these inspection companies that are a lot better at their gift of gab in telling you how samples will find the mold problems when really nothing is farther from the truth. Some have little or no motivation to do an actual good, comprehensive inspection, and then they want to scare you into doing samples or convincing you, oh, if we pull 5 samples, that'll tell us where the mold is. And let's talk about that for a second. The proper way in doing these inspections is to do a good, detailed, comprehensive inspection, and then based on the inspection results, that's what sets the protocol for doing your sampling, not the other way around. I want to make this very, very clear one more time. Sampling cannot find the location of the contamination. Doing a good, detailed inspection finds the suspect areas, and then the sampling is done to corroborate how much contamination's there, what's the concentration, what's the severity, and it helps give the inspector information to be able to guide the client into what to do next. So, number 8, do you have professional liability insurance? I want to be very clear about this. There's a big difference between general liability insurance and professional liability insurance. You want to ask the person for professional liability insurance. This is completely different than somebody comes in, falls and trips, breaks something in your house. Professional liability insurance is used so if they make a mistake during the inspection, if they write something wrong in their report, if they miss something in the house, professional liability insurance helps cover them on that. Now, one of the reasons that you might find some companies might be cheaper than others is because they don't have professional liability insurance. And the one thing I have found, being a legitimate company, that's not cheap. So make sure you ask for that up front. And oh, by the way, you can always find my certifications and my insurance on my website. So, number 9, false claims of certification. This one I absolutely love. Now, we've talked about the American Council for Accredited Certifications, and we've talked about them being the gold standard in the industry. So is it any surprise that somebody would advertise on their website or on a business card that they're ACAC certified? Well, this is easy for you to check, but in reality, it really justifies what I've been saying all along. If ACAC wasn't the gold standard in the industry, why would somebody claim that they're ACAC certified if they're not? One way I look at it is people don't normally steal something that's worthless. So anyway, with that being said, if somebody you talk to says they're ACAC certified, if you see it on their website, go to the website. Do not believe them. Go to the website, put in their name, check on them, make sure that they actually are certified. And if for some reason they do not turn up in that website, please call ACAC and let them know that the person is claiming to be certified through them and they are not. This is called business fraud. So thank you very much.